y'all, I hope you enjoyed that guitar cover. If you want tabs for that song or any of the songs on my YouTube channel, check out my Patreon page, which I'll link to on screen, in the description, and pinned in a comment. I'm also giving away a free Nashville-style number chart for this song, which I'll link to in the description and pinned in the comment as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content and guitar videos from me. Once again, my name is Alex, and this is AJR Music. I'm going to try something a little different here today, and try to add some more value to these videos by adding some commentary and showing you how the sausage is made. So we're going to do a little quick screen recording here and go over how I got the tone for this video and some of the theory behind the chord progression and just guitar nerd stuff. Let's hang out and nerd out together. This is a really cool song. If you haven't heard of Lukas Nelson, he is Willie Nelson's son, and he plays with a band called The Promise of the Real, who I believe were Neil Young's original band, studio band that he was playing. Not original, but the studio band that he'd been playing with for a while. And they started playing with Lukas Nelson, and I've had the opportunity to see him several times here in Nashville. I saw him at the Basement East right after COVID kind of opened everything up, which was awesome. I got to see him at a private Jim Lauderdale Sirius XM screening for his new album that just came out, Sticks and Stones. And then I got to see him at a place called The Palace, which was another intimate show, way too small for Lukas Nelson. Like, the dude should be selling out huge theaters, in my opinion. And I'm sure he is in other parts, at other gigs or whatever, but anyways, he should be more popular than he is. His music is fantastic. He's put out a couple of albums, at least 3 or 4, and I think all of them are amazing, especially this most recent one. And the thing I like about this album is there's no studio trickery involved at all. It's just his band playing like basically live together, kind of like what Chris Stapleton does with his recordings. Super simple. Like I said, no studio trickery. He's playing the guitar parts he's playing live. You know, they could recreate the sound live, and I can tell you that they do. It sounds just like the studio when they play it live, minus the background singers, which they have tracks for that and stuff. But man, they're such a killer band, and Lukas Nelson's such an awesome songwriter, and he takes right up after his dad, and he doesn't just play simple chord progressions. He adds little wrinkles that show you his jazz influence. Just like Willie. He's a country singer and songwriter, but, you know, crazy. He wrote that song. It's got some crazy chords in it. No pun intended there. So let's take a look at this song. Let's talk about the song. So we're in the key of E. 2-5-1. There's a little jazz. Not all country songs have 2-5-1 in them. It's a lot of 4-5-1 flat 7. Oh. 4 minor. 3, 6. So already, just there, that's the form of the song pretty much. You have a verse, and then you've got that 4-chord part. So let's pause that. Let's talk about that. So we're like I said, in the key of E, that's our 1 chord. It's got that little riff. If you want to learn how to play that riff, if you're good enough, you can just figure it out by watching, or you can get the tabs on my Patreon page. But anyways, we're just using a blues scale. But what's interesting about this song, after we get through the 2-5-1, F sharp minor, B, 2-5-1, very common chord progression, we go to this 4 part. And then this is where his like jazz influence or just Willie Nelson influence comes in. You've got that beautiful 4 minor, 1. Call that the money chord. 4 minor to 1, if you ever want to make something really dramatic, that's a good chord progression to use. And then we have this really great root motion. 1, 3 minor, 6. really dramatic as well. Back to 2-5-1. So that's just a beautiful chord progression, and you don't see that in pop music these days. You don't see that in country music. That is just straight up great songwriting and beautiful chord progression over an awesome melody that only, well, not only Lukas Nelson, but that Lukas Nelson would choose to do. So you can hear that Willie Nelson influence right there. So that's pretty much the form of the song. Let's keep playing. Now Laney's singing. Back to our 2-5-1. There's that money chord. E minor. Simple major pentatonic. That's all he's using. You don't always have to be complicated. This is another thing I love about Lukas Nelson. Super tasteful playing. Just like Chris Stapleton. They always find the simplest way to like say something, and it's always really just so tasteful. They're not trying to be flashy. And I think that's really, really cool. You want to figure out how to play the solo, once again, those are in the tabs, but I mean, he's using major pentatonic. If you know your cage system, this would be the C shape, major E major pentatonic. That's pretty much the whole form of the song. It's very simple, tight little pop song, but with some extra sauce with that 4 minor chord and that 3-6 thing going on. 1-3-6 to 2-5-1. So that's what I think about that song. Let's talk about the tone. So I'm gonna go over to this video, and for most of my videos that I do, I go to Rig Rundown. And if you don't know about this channel, you should check it out. This is an awesome channel. I'm assuming the guy is based out of Nashville because all of the interviews he does are at like the Ryman or other parts around Nashville. But any guitarist that's like anybody these days, this guy's going around and asking them about their rig. So let me play this clip for you.
Yeah.
It seems exclusively for.
So they're at the Ryman talking about his
this
guitars.
Is, the 1956 Les Paul Jr.
Les Paul Jr.
This has got a P90. I know more about this guitar because this is my main guitar. I use it a lot.
That's great.
When I bought that, I didn't know anything.
Sure.
But when I got this one.
So he's got a humbucking Les Paul.
Actually, Gibson is making a.
I wish I had a Les Paul Jr. like that from 1950s.
Guitar.
Congratulations.
And this is
what I have.
That one, 19.
Is a Samick Fastback from Korea. But let's skip ahead and show the amps that he's talking about.
56 Les Paul Jr. There's a lot of great features. You can tell the knobs.
So here's where he talks about the amps.
These 2 Magnetone amps.
Yeah, let's talk about these Magnetones. These have always interested me. They're just such cool. How long have you been running these?
We've been running them for a while now. I don't know, a few years. Ted Kornblum is the guy who runs the Magnetone offices. There's the factories down in St. Louis. We went down there. It's all hand.
So I don't have a Magnetone amp.
Incredible stuff.
I wish I did.
You know,
but when I saw him live
like
playing this year, he was using a Magnetone.
And so it really gets.
He's got a 212 Magnetone. And this is where I get into how I come up with these tones. Back in the day when I first started this channel, I was using my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, which was fine. I put a 57 in front of that thing and went to town. But I ran into lots of issues. I mean, recording with a microphone in a non-treated room. This room has like the floorboard heating would rattle. I'd be picking up radio signals. I've got probably not the cleanest power in this room. So I had Guitar Rig for the longest time that I never used it. I finally learned how to use it and got into it. And so for this video and a couple of the last couple of videos I've done, I've been using Guitar Rig. And what I did is I made a preset based on my research and found that the Tweedman, which is a Fender Bassman, it's a 212 cabinet. It's like a kind of like a more mid-rangey kind of Fender sound. And I thought that sounded pretty close. So what I did, I just pulled it up. I pulled up a preset and I started tweaking it. Oh, man. And I just took, what did I do? I took a little mid-range out and I made it a little bright with this knob here and put up the presence a little bit. This might not be the exact settings I was using for the recording, but pretty close. But I thought it sounded pretty darn close. It's nice and mid-rangey for a Fender amp. And it breaks up nice. And if you watch more of that video for the rig rundown, he talks about just going straight into the amp with the tuner. So he's not using any effects except for maybe a little bit of a tube driver that he uses on solos. So I thought this was pretty much good enough. It's the easiest amp build I've ever done. And I'm going to be doing some more videos like this where I'm adding commentary and talking about tone in the future. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just choosing an amp and it working right away. But for this video, it worked. So I was pretty happy with that. Just vintage Fender sound with a little bit more mid-range. So I found that the Tweedman really sounded a lot like a Magnetone. Unfortunately, Guitar Rig 5 doesn't have a Magnetone. But I'm also going to give away this preset for free. And I'll see how I can do that and add that into the description. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the song. That's how I got the tone. That's the theory behind the chord progression. You can find that chord progression in the free number chart that I'm giving away. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to try to keep putting these out here. Things are slowing down here in Nashville. The busy season for gigs is going to be winding down as winter comes. So I'm going to have more free time to get this channel going again. And if you like this video, let me know. Comment down if you want to hear some more commentary on some other artists. But I keep it pretty much Americana, country, roots, blues music here. I might be doing some 90s country in a couple weeks here with some B-bender action going on. I might do some more Marcus King if I can ever learn how to play his songs. But anyways, thank you so much for being here. Once again, I'm Alex. This is AJR Music. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.